I cannot believe I'm sitting down making a video about brain rot. But it is not just about brain rot, it is about thought life, it is about intentionality, and it is about the importance of what you allow into your mind. I've been seeing brain rot consume people's minds recently, and I felt really inspired to sit down and kind of share what I've been reading in the Bible, what I've been thinking about and realizing about the impact of just having your mind consumed with such crap. Alright, if you're not too familiar with brain rot is, consider yourself lucky, but allow me to enlighten you real quick. Yeah, that's what it is, and you'd probably be better off staring at a rock waiting for it to move than watching this garbage, because this is like utterly useless to the point where you cannot physically justify any value within this. And what's even worse is mostly the audience for this is younger people. Probably because they think it's like entertaining or funny or something. Obviously I can't imagine adults watching this. I mean, maybe there are some, but the primary audience is younger kids, which is probably worse because the way I'm looking at this is that this has the potential to ruin their future. And not only that, but destroy the formative years of their life that build the foundation of their future. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I felt incredibly inspired to share these things because, believe it or not, like there's some verses in the Bible that can directly apply to this. And if you're not a believer, don't click off of this, because you're probably going to find this interesting. And also, I challenge you to watch this whole video, not because, I'm trying to get good retention or anything, which would be nice, but I think this could be incredibly helpful, incredibly inspiring to you, and probably pretty interesting. Maybe you're at a point where you need to prove to yourself that you're not too far gone at this point, that you still have a attention span left. So let me ask you a question. You ever had like a song stuck in your head? I know you have. You ever quote like a movie or book often to your friends, that's applicable to the situation you're in? Why is that? Because you've allowed that thing to enter your mind, and you've kept it there because you thought it was, interesting or funny or entertaining or valuable, okay? This could be anything, right? I have verses in my head. I have quotes that I've read in my head. I have ideas in my head. All these things, like, you have things living in your head. And how did they get there? You allowed them in. You allowed them into your head by either reading it or, focusing on it, thinking about it, watching a movie or a video or anything. And so it's living in your head, and it's taking up space in your head and taking up, some of your thoughts. I guess it takes up most of your thought life, the things that live in your head. So what happens when you only consume content that is just completely useless and you have all this crap living in your head? I mean, I have a sister in high school, and she's not brain rot, but she knows, she experiences it because that's the younger demographic who consume it. And even I, who am not in high school anymore, hear it in everyday life outside of social media, references to, the few brain rot memes that I know, or just, these incredibly random, like, stupid words like the S word. I'm not even going to say it because I might pass away on the spot, but I hear these things come out of people in real life outside of social media. Just like someone singing a song that's really catchy, or quoting a movie that they like or whatever. It's the same thing. It's living inside their heads. So where am I getting at here? All right, let me share a few verses with you. Proverbs 23:7. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I know you've heard that before. As a man thinketh, so is he. There's also another one. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, it starts with above all else. That's how you know it's important. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. All right, these two verses are talking and referencing the fact of, I guess, consumption, allowing things into your mind. And not only that, but the result of it manifesting in your life. I don't know how else to describe that. Like, what comes in goes out is, I guess, a good way to describe it, right? What you let into your heart, what you dwell on, what you think about, what you open doors to, what you allow. There's a quote by Lao Tzu that says, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So we have these verses that are warning us about what we allow into our minds and into our heart. For everything we do flows from it. We have this quote that shows, what's in our mind, what our thoughts are, becomes words, and then actions, and then habits, and then character, and then destiny. So I think it's pretty safe to say what we think about is what we become, right? And here's the problem with brain rot, and I guess anything bad in general, is that if that's what you're consuming and allowing into your mind and allowing to take up real estate and space in your head, that is going to eventually manifest into your life. So if you don't want to be a useless piece of garbage, then maybe you don't consume that. You are what you eat. You ever hear that? Like, there's so many quotes about this thing that I know you've heard before, but maybe you just don't think about the impact because it seems harmless. It's like, what is a video about a guy's head coming out of the toilet or whatever? How is that going to ruin my life? But it's the principle of consuming this thing, filling up space in your mind to the point where your thought life now is an extension of all these brain rot ideas and thoughts and memes and videos and songs and whatever. That's your thought life. Boom, into your words, into your actions. Like you think anything of value is going to come from that? And the problem is it's so stimulating and it's so to some people entertaining to watch that it's easy. It's so easy. I mean, even I don't consume brain rot, but every so often I scroll through social media, and I get to the point where after a little bit of doing that, my head feels cloudy. Why? Because I've just ingested so much information in so little time that my brain hasn't processed it yet, and it's just all this information and ideas, and it's just so foggy, and it's just in my head where there's no more room to really think or do anything of value. And it's the same idea, it's the same idea with brain rot. Although, for me, scrolling through my Explore page on Instagram, I have a pretty good chance of finding something of value, but if you're on TikTok just consuming brain rot the whole time, that's probably the worst you can get. That's pretty bad, aside from purely demonic things, which is obviously bad as well. But I wanted to make this video because brain rot might seem harmless, but listen, it's about what you're allowing into your mind. So listen, sit down, let's do this experiment real quick. Think about the type of life you want to live. And I assume it's not some useless, meaningless, crap hole where you just don't do anything. I assume that's not the life you want to lead. So think about the type of life you want to lead, the type of person you want to be. You might be young, so you have this whole life ahead of you. Think about who you want to be. And now think about the type of things, based off of these principles, these verses in this quote, that you should be consuming to get to that life. And I promise you're not going to end at the conclusion of brain rot. So maybe it's time to start being more intentional about what you consume, about what you fill your mind with. Because it's so stimulating and you can just do it for so long, you can just cram your mind to the point where your mind is foggy. Whereas, you can't even think about anything else. There's no more room to think about anything of value because it's just filled with crap. So here's another verse. So I assume you want to live a good, meaningful, fulfilling, successful life. Listen to this verse. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Those things, filling your mind with those things, true, noble, right, lovely, admirable, excellent, praiseworthy, those things are going to lead to that kind of life. Here's your answer. It's in this verse. It's Philippians 4:8. That's the answer to what you need to be consuming. Trust me, if you don't believe me, I challenge you. Try a week without social media. Don't go on social media at all. At all. And you're going to see, and you're going to feel your mind free up. You're going to feel a sense, a freedom of thought that you probably might have never experienced before if you're young like me and you grew up with technology and phones and video games and social media. And you're going to realize the impact that it had. You might not realize it right now because you're in the midst of it, but trust me, you never really truly know the impact of something until it's gone. And at that point, once you realize that, start filling your mind with these excellent, praiseworthy, admirable, good things, these righteous things. Because if that's the life you want to live, that's what you need to consume. Because again, what you let in influences your thoughts, which become your words, which become your actions, which become your habits, which become your character, which become your destiny. So if you made it through this entire video, congratulations. You still have an attention span, and that is good. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you have any ideas, videos you want to see. I hope this was, of some value to you. I hope this was helpful in some way. And yeah, I'll see you next time.